Chapter 83. The entire street fell into an eerie silence once again. Almost everyone suspected that they had heard wrongly and stared at Su Hui in disbelief. 3 days. Booked the entire Phoenix restaurant for 3 days. Is that person crazy? This, because he was too shocked. Lu Jitao couldn't even speak for a moment. Today is a joyous day for our esteemed guest, so Phoenix restaurant will not be too calculative about anything. Please make yourselves at home. Su Hui had already turned around after he finished speaking, clearly not intending to continue arguing with them. Usually, even if the head of the Lu family came, he might not be willing to meet them. Today, it was already very rare for him to have the patience to say such things to Lu Jitao. Fourth young master, Phoenix restaurant is not to be trifled with. Let's leave. Lu Jitao was furious, but with this reminder, he sobered up a little. Just as he was about to retreat and leave, he turned his gaze and saw a beautiful young girl standing not far away. She was just standing there quietly, but it was as if everything around her had lost its color. Lu Jitao's eyes lit up. Since when did the Imperial city have such a stunning beauty? Sensing Lu Jitao's gaze, Chu Yuyue's eyes flickered. Lu Jitao did not attend the Crown Prince's birthday banquet. During the previous argument, she had concealed her appearance. So it was normal for him not to recognize her now. Oh, which family is this girl from? How come I've never seen her before? As he spoke, he was about to step forward. Su Hui's figure moved and blocked in front of him. The polite smile on his face had disappeared, and his tone carried a hint of warning. This lady is Phoenix Restaurant's esteemed guest today, Miss Lu Yu. What? They want to hold a banquet at Phoenix Restaurant. How is that possible? They can't afford it. Hearing the news from the page boy, the entire Chu family was shocked. They said that Zhen Bao Pavilion's second master, Yin, booked the entire place for her. They said they wanted to thank her for selling the title deed. Chu Yin gnashed his teeth in hatred. Initially, everything was going well. Who knew that Yin Ge would appear out of nowhere? I also heard that high-level fiends have appeared in the hunting ground recently, and the price has increased greatly. The fourth princess brought many people over today. This Chu Luiyue is really lucky. Although he lost his engagement with the crown prince by selling a hunting ground, he won the favor of Zhen Bao Pavilion. What kind of place is Zhen Bao Pavilion? Why would they look at Chu Luiyue differently for such a small hunting ground? I think something is fishy. Now is not the time to talk about this. Let's think about what to do next. Zhen Bao Pavilion is supporting Chu Luiyue. The great elder's face was gloomy as he suddenly sneered. Digression. Today's second watch period, please browse for a better reading experience from Love Network. Chapter 84. This is a small gift to show my respect. Please accept it, Miss Lu Yu. Chu Luiyue glanced at the boxes of gifts that were piled up at the entrance and fell silent. A small gift. Did Yin Ge have some misunderstanding about this term? Or did he think that Zhen Bao Pavilion had too much money? However, Chu Luiyue had no choice but to accept it when she saw how Yin Ge insisted that she accept it or look down on him. Since it's second master Yan's kind intentions, Lu Yu will accept it. Yin Ge heaved a sigh of relief when he heard that she finally agreed to accept it. God knew that when he heard that his master had chosen a gift for Chu Luiyue, his soul was almost scared out of his wits. He could never have imagined that his master's rumored wife was actually the eldest daughter of the Chu family, Chu Luiyue, who had just made a deal with them. That's great. That's great. I really didn't expect Miss Lu Yu to be so talented. You really gave us a fright. This was the truth. Who would have known that Chu Luiyue, who had always been regarded as a good-for-nothing, could actually get into Tian Lu Academy and even achieve excellent results? With this talent and this forbearance, it was no wonder that his master, who had never been close to women, would be tempted. Yin Ge had interacted with Chu Luiyue during the deal at the hunting ground, so he admired her a lot. Now that he knew that his master liked her, his attitude was naturally better. He looked at Chu Ning and sighed. I heard that Lord Chu Ning has recovered from his old injuries and is now the commander-in-chief of the Imperial Guards. I haven't congratulated you yet. Second Master Yin, you're too polite. Chu Ning went forward and looked at Chu Lua lovingly. If it weren't for our Yuer, he paused and didn't continue speaking. Although Yuer had passed all 3 examinations in Tianlu Academy, the most popular result was that she was second in the Xian Master examination, followed by first in the Warrior examination. As for the Celestial Physician examination, almost no one mentioned it. She didn't take the Celestial Physician examination. Even during the examination, her performance didn't seem to be ideal. She barely passed. Chu Ning originally thought that she would pass the Celestial Physician examination, but now it seemed that she had deliberately concealed this. Although he didn't know the reason, she must have her reasons for doing so. At least, she had kept a trump card. Chu Lua smiled and continued. Father, what are you saying? Us father and daughter have depended on each other for so many years. Now we have finally made it. You or has you? Who knows how much good fortune she has? Chu Ning's eyes welled up with tears. Yuer is right. We must have a good celebration. Second Master Yin, please. Inside was naturally referring to the most central area of the place. Yin was that support for Yayu and their father's support. With Zhen Bao pavilion status in the Imperial city, it was rare for them to receive such treatment. Yin Gu smiled in response, but his gaze subconsciously drifted to Chu Lua. Ha ha! Lord Chu Ning, Miss Lu Yu is the host today. Please go ahead. What a joke. How would he dare to walk in front of his master's wife? Chu Lua realized that Second Master Yin was a little strange today. However, this wasn't the time to ask. Seeing Yin Ji's insistence, Chu Lua didn't force him. Second Master Yin, please go ahead. You can do whatever you want. Yinggu immediately agreed happily. Chu Lua's heart tingled, and she asked in a seemingly casual manner. He asked casually, Second Master Yin, I heard that a high-level fiend appeared in the hunting ground? What level is it? When Yinggu heard this, he felt a little guilty and coughed. Actually, we only found traces of a high-level fiend in the hunting ground, but we haven't seen what it is exactly. However, its level shouldn't be low. Chu Lua nodded. High-level fiends were rare, and this was a serious matter. It was normal that Yinggu didn't want to talk about it in detail. Chu Ning glanced outside the door. Apart from Yin Ji's men, no one else had come. He couldn't help but say, Second Master Yin, thank you for booking the entire Phoenix restaurant today. I really don't know how to repay you. However, there shouldn't be many people here today. I'm afraid it's a little wasteful. Yinggu chuckled, but didn't say anything. Wasteful? Even that wouldn't be enough. Young Master Si Ting has arrived. The second announcement shocked the few people waiting in Phoenix restaurant. Chu Lua looked up and saw a young man in a blue brocade robe walk in. This young man had sharp brows and bright eyes. He was handsome like a sharp sword, and his aura was cold and noble. It was Si Ting. Why is he here? Chu Ning was surprised. As the undisputed #1 family in the capital, the Si family rarely interfered with other families' disputes. Why would they send someone here this time? Furthermore, it was Si Ting who was the most famous and had the highest status among the younger generation of the Si family. Today's banquet was a battle between the father and daughter and the Chu family. Everyone knew that if they came, it meant that they were on the opposite side of the Chu family. Logically speaking, there was no need for the Si family to get involved in this mess. Even if they had to choose, they would choose the Chu family. Why, in the blink of an eye, Si Ting had already walked over. He first greeted Chu Ning. Si Ting greets Uncle Chu. Chu Ning hurriedly said, Si Ting, you don't have to be so polite. Si Ting had a faint, noble, and distant aura, but his expression was calm and his actions were appropriate. It didn't make people feel uncomfortable at all. You, Master Si asked you to come? Chu Ning asked hesitantly. Si Ting nodded. Chapter 102. Elder Yi is the Dean of Tian Luth Academy. Chu Lua looked at him in shock. This old man always wore torn cotton clothes and did not care about his appearance. If she did not see him with her own eyes, she would not have believed his true identity. Chu Liwei could not help but recall the previous few times they met. Elder Yi had shamelessly chased after her to watch her refine demons. Her feelings became even more complicated. After all this time, the person with the most authority in Tianlu Academy was right in front of her. Elder Ye's expression was serious, which was rare for him. His fingers continued moving. Another name appeared on the page of the book. Chu Liwei. Chu Liwei realized that her name was actually red. It was the same color as the teachers in the academy. Then, a small line of words appeared below her name. Cultivation, celestial physician, Xian master, martial artist. Due to the limitations of their talents, normal students would only cultivate one skill. However, Chu Liwei was different. Elder Yi knew that her talents might be stronger than he had imagined. Thus, he simply wrote down all 3 skills for her. This would be much more convenient in the future. When he wrote down the last word, a golden ray of light flew out from Elder Ye's name and entered Chu Liue's nameplate on her left chest. Every student's nameplate has a trace of their teacher's power. Not only can it be used to identify one's identity, but it can also be used as a trump card in times of danger. Elder Yi explained as he let go of his hand. The page slowly closed on its own and returned to the teacher who had sent the book over. All right, your name has been registered. From now on, you will be my true disciple. Elder Yi looked at Chu Liwei emotionally. He could not hide the excitement in his heart. Even though Chu Liwei had already served him tea previously, only the 2 of them knew about it at that time. Now that both of their names were written on the Academy's nameplate, it would be very different. In the future, everyone would know that Chu Liwei was his disciple. Thinking of this, Elder Yi was elated. He had lived for most of his life. Many people had advised him to take in disciples, but he had rejected them all because he found it troublesome. Now, there was finally someone who caught his eye, and he was even a genius that was hard to come by in 100 years. All of a sudden, he had surpassed everyone else. How could he not be happy? Let's go. We haven't seen each other for such a long time. I have many things to say to you. After finishing his business, Mr. Yi left with Chu Liwei, leaving Sun Zhongyan and the others looking at each other. The peach garden was silent for a long time before a helpless laugh could be heard. To think that we've been fighting for so long. In the end, he's already the dean's student.